double teams, triple teams this camp than years past. Obviously, double and triple teams are nothing new to him.
Right.
Why would you change that approach this year for training camp?
Nobody plays him different than that, you know. So I mean, it's not quite that simple, but you know, you're making adjustments and you're aware of where he's at, just like every single team that we play. So he's that good that I think most teams every week the first thing that they talk about is where's Waldo? Find 99, make sure that you have an answer for him, and so it's what we would do if we played him too. So I think you want to try, you know, in all seriousness, what happens is if you don't, you get very unrealistic looks, you know, for some of the things that he's able to do for the rest of his teammates on the defensive side of the ball. And so, you know, every single day is a new day, but he does a great job of kind of understanding what the intent is. And some days that can be an emphasis, and then other days we might, you know, play it a little bit differently. But he's special, and so he's got to be accounted for even in practice.
I wanted to check on Kendrick.
He's making good progress. You know, I talked to him today, and you know, those soft tissue things are something that you can't be too careful with. So hopefully we'll get him back within the week, maybe next week, might be this week. So it's kind of just day to day, especially when you're talking about with those DBs.
Yeah, but like what happened?
Oh, he's got a hamstring.
Okay.
Yeah, just his hamstring's sore.
With Stafford, how did this, you know, your load management, whatever?
It's as simple as this. When we get into this season, he'll be throwing about 4 times out of every 7 days, and he won't miss another practice in training camp. This just happened to be where we actually wanted to do it this way as well, where we were very heavy run emphasis today, first day that we put on the pads, because of the way that first window of time set up, and then with him returning tomorrow, it kind of kept in alignment with just, you know, 4 out of every 7 days, and that's kind of reflective of what his season workload and what he had done really throughout the whole off-season program. And so it worked out. If he was going to miss, you know, we've really got 9 competitive opportunities at Irvine, and we always knew he was going to take part in 8 of those 9, and so now there won't be any of those eyes like, ooh, is there anything to it? So.
With today being a run-heavy day, Sean, what did you see out of the run game and the offensive line, and also the chances you did get to see Stetson and Prestor? What you take?
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. You know, we kind of knew that. I thought it was pretty sloppy offensively. I thought the defense did a good job, and then I thought, you know, like anything else, you know, you get a chance to settle in. There were some plays to be made on both sides, and you know, what you try to do is make practice as similar to game-like settings as possible, but there are certain points of emphasis where guys are teeing off on certain things, and you know, I did think that there was a good level of understanding of how we want to practice. I thought there was some good physicality. I thought the defense did a good job at attacking at the football, and then there was some opportunities where guys made some plays offensively and started to settle back in, but for the most part, I felt like defense did a good job of really setting the tone at the beginning. It felt a little sloppy, you know, just as simple as even just the way that, you know, you break the huddle, and that's where you can appreciate just the command that, you know, that Matthew has and everything that offensive operation entails. But Stetson made some plays, and I thought, you know, for the most part, Brett's been in this system, or, you know, he's been an NFL guy, and I thought both those guys did a good job, you know, and I thought Brett was pretty smooth throughout, and then I thought Stetson, what you like about him is he didn't let some of the early parts of practice affect the way that he finished. He made some big-time throws at the end.
When you do your after-action review on today and watch the cut-ups and stuff, like with that stuff specifically, how do you address that? How do you talk through that? How do you get that fixed?
Yeah, I think you do it in the moment. You know, I think the best feedback you can give is immediate, especially, you know, you see we've got a lot of different things that are in alignment with being able to kind of look over and does it confirm what you thought you saw in real time? And then, you know, you get a chance when we go back through the film with our guys in the morning. So it's kind of what coaching is. It's all encompassing to everything that I was kind of just mentioning. And then, you know, the more that you get closer towards having, you know, your full installations in, the more that you can try to simulate game-like settings where guys are playing, you see how they think, because as much as it is good to be able to get certain things off, you know, when you're going off of a script and you're going right down and predetermined down in distances, that's not how a game is played. And we want to get closer to the game-like situations, even in practice settings, as quickly as we can, while being understanding of some of the patience that's necessary.
A couple more, guys.
About the running backs, you know, that were out there and available, what went into your thinking in terms of bringing Royce Freeman?
You know, I felt like, you know, Sean McVay does a great job of kind of having an understanding of the landscape of the league as it relates to NFL free agents. He's a guy that's played, done some things similar to, you know, what we might have asked of Sony, and that was really kind of what went into it. And he's a guy that some people had some familiarity with him I was a fan of his game from seeing him from afar and the way that he handled himself, and so that was kind of it. And like the way that like what I saw in just kind of first glimpse today.
Sean, Aaron talked on Saturday about the hunger he still has for this game. Given everything he's accomplished, he's arguably the greatest interior defender ever. What does that say about him, that he still is up for the fight?
I think that's why he is who he is. The great ones never get complacent. There's always things that you can look at. Nobody has higher standards for Aaron than he does of himself, and I think that's a separator, and I think that's a consistent thing when you start talking about people that are in that kind of company, and he certainly is in rarefied air. But I think there's a lot of things that there's a lot of people on this team that have something to prove, and if you're wired the right way, then you're feeling and thinking the same things that Aaron's thinking. And I think he loves the game. He missed the game. He missed games for a significant amount of time for the first time in his career, and I think you appreciate just getting out here to come and compete and put pads on with your teammates in practice settings and feel some of the youthful energy from some of our younger guys, but also understand the power of your influence by the way that you bring in every single thing that you do, and that's been kind of who Aaron has always been, which is good.
Saw you slap by with DeMarcus Robinson after
he got me good.
Yeah, it's probably stung a little, but what have you? He seemed like he's just been real steady. So what have you seen from him?
You mentioned it. It's not too big for him. There's been a lot of opportunities where he's kind of been the primary on some of these things, and he's just got a good look in his eye. I mean, he's got a good swagger. You can just see the way that he even just moves around the field. He's got confidence. You like those guys that want the ball. You can feel he's got that nice kind of edge where he's not afraid to go do anything other than go attack an opportunity to make a play. And if it doesn't go his way, he's like, I can't wait for that next stop. And I think that's the kind of mindset you want to have on this team, as a whole. And I've really liked what I've seen from DeMarcus. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.